We'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council meeting for tonight. It is Tuesday, September the 4th. Usually we have our meetings on Mondays, but we had Labor Day. So we'll call to order the meeting. Our invocation will be done by Junior Minister Noah Jones of Chapel Hill Christian Academy, the Marvelous Light Christian Ministries, and the Pledge of Allegiance after that will be done by Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel. Please stand for the invocation. Come forward.
Bow your heads and close your eyes, please. Father God, we thank you for everything that you've done, Lord. We thank you for everything that you will do, Lord. Right now, in the name of Jesus, I ask that you continue to bless us, Lord. I ask that you bless every soul in this room, Lord. I ask that you bless every soul in this city, Lord, right now, in the name of Jesus. I ask that you will cover the council right now, in the name of Jesus, Lord. I ask that you cover all the commissioners, Lord. I ask that you will cover Dr. Raquel right now in the name of Jesus, Lord. I ask that you will put your hand on her right now to make the right decisions, Lord. I ask that you put on your hand on all the councilmen right now in the name of Jesus. Lord, I pray this prayer in Jesus' name, in your holy name, amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. And all right, Junior.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just got to tell you, my heart has been blessed. That was great.
Thank you so much. We just want to give you a hand. That's a blessing. Okay, well, Mayor Pro Tem wants to take a picture. So before we take a picture with everyone, so we appreciate you training up a child in the way it should go. So we're going to take a picture with you. Okay.
Completely out of protocol.
Yeah.
How often do we get this? There we go. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Big smile. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
My computer hasn't joined it. It's spinning over here.
So you haven't been able to. So we'll have a quick, while we're doing the protocol, to try to get Councilman Watt's computer tablet connected. So I'll go over the protocol for the meeting. I would like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular meeting of agenda items where official action will be taken tonight. The items were discussed at our work session this past Thursday. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from Citizens and Delegates section for you to discuss your business. There are a few protocol issues I'd like to make you aware of before we start the meeting, so we'll all be on the same page and there won't be any misunderstandings as the meeting is conducted tonight. I would ask that you keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack against any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. Then a second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the chambers and premises for the night. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers. Speak from the audience, cheer, carry on conversations with others in the audience, or disrupt the meeting in any way. I remind you that we only are here to accept public comments on zoning matters, and if you have information that was not discussed on this past Thursday, just bring forth clarifying information at this time. If you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask that you would please put those in silent mode. The agenda items will be handled as follows. The committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then the person representing the agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members will probably ask for questions if we have any additional questions that we did not have an opportunity to ask on last Thursday. After that, the committee chair will make his or her motion, but before that, if it is a zoning matter, they will give the audience an opportunity to speak on that item, 30 minutes max, 30 minutes in favor, 30 minutes in opposition. Each person has 5 minutes to speak. So if you're able and you would like to make a comment, we ask that you would come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. There should have been a form that you could have filled out. You should fill that form out and hand it to the city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker. And again, place your name and address on the card, and we would love to hear from you. If your agenda item is not listed on the agenda, there is time at the end of the meeting that says comments from citizens and delegates, and we'd ask that you come at that time and give us your name and address for the record, and we'd be happy to hear any comments that you may have at that time. Okay, so now we'll move on to the agenda item as it's presented or printed. The announcements, the person was not able to make it, so we will have that. Okay. Okay, it's not on here, it's on the other one. Okay, so we'll move on to the minutes. I have the minutes of the special called meeting, legislative work session, and executive session of August 16th, 2018, and the regular meeting of August 20th, 2018. I open the floor for a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second. Any comments, corrections, or anything that any council member wants to bring as relates to the minutes? Any
Just
comments?
have one question. Do any council members have a motion and second button on their devices? None of us do.
I just have
So-
requests to speak.
Yeah, okay, then we'll have to not be pushing that button tonight.
Did you see the raised hands, Ms. Vicki? Okay, so we have the Mayor Pro Tem
other
and then
comments.
Councilmember Miller T did the second. Okay. Any additional comments or questions as it relates to that? And now, since we don't have our button, we'll just have to raise our hands if there are any confusion or we need clarity. The city clerk will give us directions at that time. Thank you. Not hearing any other comments. All of those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? The ayes have it, unanimously approved. The minutes are approved. So we'll move on to the first committee, which is Public Safety Committee, and that's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, I have one item. It's item A 20-18-42. Hold a public hearing to consider a request for a change in agent outlet manager for the alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverage at the following establishment. Licensee the Kroger Company, DBA, Kroger, number 485, location 3875 Chapel Hill Road. Current agent outlet manager, James Whitting. Proposed agent outlet manager, Michael Biggs. The required fees has been paid into the finance department. Madam Mayor, it says let's hold up a public hearing, but on last Thursday we had a public hearing and no one came out to talk against and no one came out to talk for. I'm just going to go ahead and approve 20-18-42.
Okay,
That's a motion.
thank you. There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 20-18-42. Any additional conversations or any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't here Thursday. This question may have already been asked, but that particular location, chief, any issues with selling to underage or anything related to that?
Now, we had several undercover operations, and I don't think we ever had a problem with Kroger.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Councilman Watts asked that of Mr. Chairman. Any additional discussion as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 20-18-42, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-18-42 is unanimously approved.
That's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to the next committee, which is Community and Economic Development Committee. There we go. That's chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We do have two items. The first one, since that hasn't cleared off my screen yet, I'll read it off the paper, is item 21-18-28. Appoint an individual to serve as the Post 4 member of the Development Authority of the City of Douglasville to fill an unexpired term expiring July 23rd, 2022.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I did email earlier a list of the members. There are 2 members who are currently not serving, so you will be filling those 2 spots. So if you're interested to see who's currently on that board, if you check your email while you're looking, you'll have that.
So we have ballots.
So we're getting ballots that have 4 names listed. First, we'll be voting on the full term expiring in 2022. And then the next item that I haven't read yet will be for an unexpired term expiring 2019.
I have Councilman Mark Adams voting for Ms. Deborah Donatoff. I have Councilman Chris Watts voting for Ms. Frances Richards. Mayor Rochelle Robinson voting for Ms. Frances Richards. Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel voting for Mr. Don Watts. Dr. LaShawn Burdanley voting for Mr. Danny Hutchins. Councilman Sam Davis voting for Mr. Danny Hutchins. And Councilman Terry Miller voting for Ms. Frances Richards. We have 1 vote for Ms. Deborah Donatoff, 2 votes for Danny Hutchins, 3 votes for Ms. Frances Richards, and 1 vote for Mr. Don Watts in total.
Thank you, Madam City Manager. I'll go ahead and make a motion to appoint Frances Richards to serve as the Post 4 member of the Development Authority of the City of Douglasville to fill an expired term expiring July 23rd, 2022. Put forth item 21-18-28 forward in the form of a motion for approval.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 21-18-28 with Frances Richards as the appointee for Post 4, member to the Development Authority for the City of Douglasville to fill an unexpired term expiring July 23rd, 2022. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Ms. Frances Richards is the appointee.
And I will have balloting for the second position, which I will read. And there'll be 4 names on there still. Disregard the Frances Richards. You cannot elect her to both seats. So that's item 21-18-29 to appoint an individual to serve as the Post 7 member of the Development Authority of the City of Douglasville to fill an unexpired term expiring July 23rd, 2019.
I have Councilman Chris Watts voting for Mr. Don Watts.
No relation.
No relation. Councilman Mark Adams voting for Ms. Deborah Donatoff. Mayor Rochelle Robinson voting for Mr. Don Watts. Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel voting for Mr. Don Watts. Dr. LaShawn Burdanley voting for Danny Hutchins. Councilman Sam Davis voting for Mr. Danny Hutchins. And Councilman Terry Miller voting for Ms. Deborah Donatoff. We have 2 votes for Ms. Deborah Donatoff, 2 votes for Mr. Danny Hutchins, and 3 votes for Mr. Don Watts.
Thank you, Madam City Manager. I make this motion for item 21-18-29 to appoint Mr. Don Watts to serve as the Post 7 member of the Development Authority of the City of Douglasville to fill an unexpired term expiring July 23rd, 2019. Put forth item 21-18-29 in the form of a motion for approval.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 21-18-29 with Mr. Don Watts as Post 7 member of the Development Authority for the City of Douglasville to fill an unexpired term expiring July 23rd, 2019. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 21-18-29 is approved with Don Watts as the appointee.
No other business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll move on to Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We have 3 items tonight under Planning and Development. Item A is hold a public hearing and authorize the mayor to transmit to the Atlanta Regional Commission and the Department of Community Affairs the City of Douglasville's update of its comprehensive plan. As we've already mentioned, this is a public hearing, so we will need to allow time for both persons that would want to speak in opposition or in favor and in opposition to that. I believe the mayor has already talked about those time limits. And we will start with Ms. Michelle Wright of the City of Douglasville with any other information that may need to be provided since our last meeting on Thursday. Thank you, Ms. Wright.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Michelle Wright, City of Douglasville, 6695 Church Street, Douglasville, Georgia. If you recall, at your last meeting, we brought before you the draft of the City of Douglasville Comprehensive Plan update. And during that time on Thursday, we said that we were going to put the Douglas County and the City of Douglasville transportation information in it, and is now included. I have Sydney Dowse here from ARC to answer any questions about the draft plan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sydney Dowse, Atlanta Regional Commission, 229 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. As Michelle stated, since I was last before you, we did integrate in the City of Douglasville transportation plan. That was a supplement to the county plan. That has been added, so the draft has moved forward. And as stated, any other additional comments that you or the public have as you review this draft, there is still ample time for comment while and after we transmit to DCA. And the final decision for the draft would be after DCA's review is complete, and then I will come back before you for final approval. So feel free to continue to share with the public, continue to review any policies, any changes to the maps. We'll continue to work with staff to iron out a few details, but we feel that we are ready to transmit to DCA to start the review process. And other than that, I'll stand if there are any questions from council or for the public.
Thank you, Mr. Dowse.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here that would have comment for this item? Let's see if there's anyone that would have any opposition to it, and then we'll open it to the council for comment, okay? Anyone here that would like to speak in opposition to the item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any comment of council? Madam Mayor, did you have a comment or a question?
No, sir. I just wanted to thank you all for submitting, Mr. Sidney and Michelle, for submitting the information, and particularly for pages 24 and 25 that list those City of Douglasville projects, proposed recommended products for the city. So thanks. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, anyone else? Any comment? Seeing none, then I'll make a motion to approve item 22-18-64.
Thank you. There's a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 22-18-64. Is there any additional discussion as it relates to this item?
Madam Mayor, just wanted to
Yes, sir.
thank the staff and DOT, ARC, everyone involved in the project for another successful plan to be submitted. And we look forward to the review and to the information that comes back from it. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
sir.
That's all I had.
You're welcome. And implementation, that's the main thing. Not to have the plan sit on the shelf, but
That's right.
actually do it. Okay. Any other comments from council members? Any other discussion as it relates to this item? Not hearing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-18-64, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 22-18-64 is approved unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Next item, 22-18-65, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance to reduce the required 100-foot side yard setback in subsection 4.03.01A, table 4.2 of the zoning ordinance for a variance of 15 feet for a remaining requirement of 85 feet on the northwest side of a lot of 1.86 plus or minus acres at 8660 South Flat Rock Road in Land Lot 190, District 2, Section 5, parcels 104 and 105. Application by Shane Jackson. I see Mr. Jackson here, but I just have a feeling that this gentleman is going to represent this application. Is that correct?
You're correct. Michael Forlaw, 3025 Shady Grove Road, Carrollton, Georgia, 30116.
Thank you, Mr. Forlaw. Is there anything that, this being a public hearing, I need to make sure we give everyone opportunity. Is there anything that you would add to the information you provided on Thursday night?
I have no new information.
Okay. Is there anyone else here that would speak in favor of this change? Is there anyone here that would speak in opposition to the change? If so, please come forward. State your name and address for the record. And Mr. Ford, we may need to speak with you again once we hear all sides of this. Thank you very much. How are you, sir?
Doing great, sir.
Good.
Thank you for listening to me tonight. My name is Nathan Allen Teal. I reside at 2204 South Flat Rock Road. My property is a budding or adjacent to the back of the development that's proposed. I know we're just talking about side yard setbacks right now. In question is the buffer. We were told there was going to be a 50-foot buffer, and then come to find out now, tonight, there is possibly a 70-foot buffer requirement. If there's a 70-foot buffer requirement, there would be no need for us to show up to any of these meetings if that was being upheld. I know that that can change at a later date. The only thing on the stipulation that we would like to ask them, I may be out of line for asking this, for the 15-foot side yard setback is that somehow you guys could make something. I know that y'all don't want to change your zoning requirements. The only thing we would not like to see in that particular location or development would be a tire store or a used tire place. That's the only thing we would like for you to ask. And then if that could be made clear, if it's 50 foot or 70 foot, and if that can change or not. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Littlefield, would you address that, please, for us?
Mr. Chairman, you can't change the uses, the allowable uses on a petition for variance.
All that we are looking at and we are considering tonight is exactly what I have read, which is a variance of 15 feet, going from 100 feet to 85 feet. There is nothing else to be considered in this particular variance application. It's just as it is read. There are no changes other than that on this plat. I believe anything else would be handled in a development plan, if I'm not mistaken. And so the only thing that we would consider in this item tonight, 22-18-65, is the public hearing for request for a variance to reduce the side yard setback from 100 feet to 85 feet. Any other comment or question? Did the applicant have anything else? Anyone else, for or against? Seeing none, I make a motion to. Yeah, I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if this is the appropriate time or after the motion is made. Because I don't know, I guess my one question is the difference between the The 15 feet, what is the purpose from going from 100 to 85? That particular side, one side's got a house sitting there, doesn't it? So it's residential right next to it. So I'm just wondering about the difference and why we need to make that variance.
Why we're requesting the additional
Yes.
15 feet?
Yes, sir.
Well, you all have this plan in front of you, I assume? You have this? Okay. If you see the northeast corner of the proposed building, I mean, we're hugging that 85-foot proposed setback about as tight as you could. So we're requesting the 15 feet to actually make this site plan work.
So it's a shape
And it
of the
needs to
property.
be, yes, sir. And it does need to be a reduction on that north side as opposed to the south side. If you look at the south side, we have to have room to get a vehicle into the site. So that's why we're moving it to the north opposed to the south, as you mentioned about the residential being adjacent.
The 100 feet that was instituted at some point in time in our ordinances, what was the purpose of, 100 feet? Is that just an arbitrary number, or is that for a particular reason? I know we've had setback applications for variances of varying distances, whether it be from a stream or something else. So I was just curious about that. I'm sorry to ask so many questions, but
Oh, no, you're fine. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm asking, I guess, in this direction. Anybody?
We'll probably have legal, if that, Mr. Chairman, unless you want to answer.
No, I would defer to Ms. Littlefield.
My understanding is that this setback requirement is not unique to this property. It's not part of a DCD or special stipulations of zoning. I believe it's pursuant to the general ordinance, but Mr. Schaefer could probably address it more specifically.
Mr. Schaefer, would you come forward and speak to that, please?
Bill Schaefer, Zoning Administrator, City of Douglasville, 6695 Church Street. Coach, the property is a little bit hard to build on because part of it needs to have a drainage basin. Part of it is the way they shaped the lots to configure the buildable site. Once we combined two lots into one at the last meeting, it creates this need for a slight setback reduction for the building on the north side. They could have had two sites, they could have had two buildings. What they chose to do is combine the lots to one in order to create a more appropriate buildable site. And they're going to leave, they're not asking for any variance for our buffer standards. So the 50-foot is the zoning district. The plat, as it was originally recorded, had a 70-foot natural buffer. And so we're not dealing with that piece of it. This is just to be able to allow the building to be built because you have that ponding issue and you have the setbacks for the buffer requirements on the plat. And this is where the buildings would have to go.
Mr. Schaefer, let me make sure that I think there was a little bit of confusion on Thursday night concerning exactly what was being covered under this so that everyone is clear with it. We are reducing the 100-foot building setback line to 85 feet.
85 feet.
The 70-foot natural buffer will not be reduced.
That's on the plat.
So
That's
rather
correct.
than having a building that would have to be a minimum of 100 feet away from that north property line, it could be 85 feet if this is approved.
Correct.
But the buffer does not go down at all.
Not affected at
Is
all.
that the way everyone understands it? That's the way it's written, that's the way we're hearing it.
Right.
That's the way it was intended, correct?
That's the original plat of
Want to
the
make sure that's
subdivision.
what, okay.
And that was the remark on the original plat, was a 70-foot natural buffer. We've
Okay.
had some conversations with neighbors, and we've had some neighboring businesses that have encroached into that 70-foot buffer, which code enforcement is dealing with right now to try and mitigate. But this is not part of that. This is its own standalone development plan that you'll see later when it comes back for development plan review, and some of the other pieces of it you'll see. But the reason for the variance is it's a corner lot, makes it an odd shape, and there's residential north. Our zoning variances are required only if there's a hindrance to the development of the land as a result of some natural problems with the configuration of a lot. And this corner lot falls into that hindrance of trying to develop. Is
Thank
that
you.
good enough?
Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions for Mr. Schaefer? Did you have another comment, sir? I don't have another comment. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Is there anyone else here that would speak to this item? For or against? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing based upon the information that we have been given and the information that's been provided to us and the discussion. I will make a motion that we approve item 221865.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-18-65. Is there any additional discussion as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-18-65, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 22-18-65 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We have one other item, that's 22-18-66. Consider a request for final plat approval for the purpose of subdivision into 8 lots for 2.575 acres at Chicago Avenue in land lot 193, District 2, Section 5B, Parcel 20, application by Mr. Larry Neese. I believe, you are here for this item, is that correct, sir? But you're not Mr. Neese. Got it, okay. Is there any other discussion or any other information that the council has, any other consideration needs to be given to this item prior to a motion? I want to reiterate, there is no reason, as far as anything that has been done, Mr. Ruffin, there's no reason that this would not be approved. Everything that's been required has been done. Is that correct? I think we discussed that on Thursday night. Okay, seeing that, then I make a motion that we approve item 22-18-66.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-18-66. The only comment that I would make is that is the Veterans Place plat, and we're excited about providing housing for those who have served us in this country. So part of Habitat for Humanity is this exciting project.
I believe we have one house completed there and the balance ready to go. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Any other discussion as relates to this item? Thank you. Not hearing any. All those in favor of approving item 22-18-66, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 22-18-66 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have under Planning and Development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to Parks and Recreation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Parks and Recreation.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll move on to Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Information and Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under Information and Technology tonight.
Thank you, sir. Maintenance and Sanitation, Vice Chair is Councilmember Mark Adams.
We have no business tonight under Maintenance and Sanitation, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice Chairman. We'll move on to Transportation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
First item is the motion to remove from the table item 27-18-16.
Thank you. I have a motion to remove item from the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of removing item 27-18-16 from the table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 27-18-16 is removed from the table. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The second item is, item 27-18-16, tabled from August 20th, 2018, authorized the mayor to sign an agreement with the Douglas County Board of Commissioners for resurfacing of Cave Springs Road, an approximate distance of 2,475 linear feet, and South Flat Rock Road, an approximate distance of 1,300 linear feet as part of Douglas County's 2016 SPLOST resurfacing program. Do we have any numbers, Madam Mayor?
Dr. Burdanley,
Yes.
staff is gonna ask that you take no action on this item. We still have not received communication from Douglas County. So as soon as we find that information, we will put it on the appropriate agenda to take action.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hampton, our city manager. So we'll take no action on item 27-18-16.
Okay.
Item 27-18-17, authorize the mayor to sign a construction contract with the qualified low bidder of Prime Foundation LLC in the amount of $70,750,050 for the Colquitt Terrace Road resurfacing project.
Yes, my name is Greg Roberts, Director of the Maintenance and Sanitation Department for the City of Douglasville, 8578 Club Drive. This bid was opened this past Friday, August 31st, and we only had one contractor to submit a bid. We do feel like it is a responsive bid in the amount of $70,750.50. And the contractor is Prime Foundation LLC. So we'd like to have permission to proceed with working with this contractor and getting this work started.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I make a motion that we approve item 27-18-17.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 27-18-17. All of those in favor of approving this? Oh, is there any further discussion as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 27-18-17 is approved.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor. And the last item is item 27-18-18. Authorize the mayor to sign a construction contract with the qualified low bidder of Prime Foundation LLC in the amount of $151,740 for the Public Safety Community Center parking lot expansion project. Mr. Roberts.
Yes, this bid was also opened this past Friday, August 31st, 2018. And this, as the item read, this is for the parking spaces in front of the community center at the public safety facility on Fairburn Road, or as most of our citizens probably call it, the police department. And there were 4 bids received for this project. The low bidder for the project was $151,740.00, and that was by Prime Foundation LLC. And there were 3 other builders. The next closest bidder was Integrated Construction at $163,520.27. We had the Southeast Civil Group at $211,354.78, and Vision Construction at $339,900. We do request to proceed with communicating with Prime Foundation and having this work initiated as well.
Right. Is there a timeline per se?
I believe they can get started relatively quick. Hopefully we'll have good weather the next few months. I have not personally talked to the contractor, was waiting for this process, and so we will do that this week with council action tonight. But my hope is that we'll start on this work.
Right. Make you happy, Chief? Okay, great, yes.
Mr. Roberts, so you're pretty sure this work won't be completed by my September 18th town hall meeting at the community center, right?
No.
All right, just want to be
There's a
sure.
good chance it will not have started by then, but we'll do our best to do that.
Good
Thank you
try,
very
Mayor
much.
Pro Tem. Well, this is very convenient. I'm sure I'm sure you and your staff are excited so that individuals don't have to walk all the way across from the other side of the building. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And I make a motion that we approve item 27-18-18.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 27-18-18. Any further discussion as relates to this item outside of the town hall meeting on the 18th of September? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 27-18 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No other items under transportation.
All right. So we'll move on now to Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I do have 2 items. The first item is 28-18-14. That's to authorize payment of expenses for registration cost and reasonable travel expenses for council members Terry Miller and Sam Davis to attend the 2018 annual conference for the National League of Cities in amounts consistent with those established in the administration ordinance for pre-approved training events. Put forth item 28-18-14 in the form of a motion for approval.
It's been properly moved and second to approve item 28-18-14. Did you get it, Ms. City Clerk? Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Vicky. Any further or additional discussion as relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not hearing any. All of those in favor of approving item 28-18-14, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 28-18-14 is approved.
All right, my next item is 28-18-15. That's to adopt a resolution implementing changes to the personnel matters based on the recommendations of the city's recent study by Evergreen Solutions, including revised job titles and job descriptions, revised organization charts and a revised pay schedule, renaming of the Maintenance and Sanitation Department, and creation of additional job slots, and approving guidelines for employee pay raises based on longevity and other factors to become effective March 5th, 2019. And once I catch my breath, I'll put that forth in the motion for approval, item 28-18-15 for approval.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 28-18-15. That was a mouthful. Any further discussion as it relates to this item? What's maintenance and sanitation going to be called? Public Works?
Public Services?
Public Services. All about service. Okay, very good. Any other comments as it relates to this item? No. All those in favor of approving item 28-18-15, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 28-18-15 is approved.
No other business under Personnel and Organization Committee, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on to item 15, which is Ordinances and Intergovernmental Committee. The Vice Chair is Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Item 29-18-6 authorized the City Legal Department to give notice of the Mayor and Council's intent to consider amending various sections of the city charter to provide that the city manager job shall be a contract appointee position, to revise job titles for appointed city staff, to set a term of office for municipal court judges, to expand the sentencing jurisdiction of the municipal court, and to revise various other matters. Ms. Littlefield.
Madam Chairman, the proposed changes to the charter are in the same state as they were when you reviewed them in the committee, and they're ready to be advertised.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? I make a motion that we approve item 29-18-6.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 29-18-6. Is there any further discussion as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 29-18-6, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. 29-18-6 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No other items under ordinances and intergovernmental.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Burdanley. We'll move on to Education and Training Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
At this time, Madam Mayor, we have no education and training at this time, but I would ask the city clerk to give us an update on GMA training for the rest of the year, if you will, at our next meeting.
Okay, she looks surprised.
Our next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, so she'll email it. Thank you. Communications. You're the communications chair. You were supposed to talk to her before that, Councilman Davis. You have anything for Communications Committee?
No.
Councilman
No
Davis?
items at this time, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there any other business to come before council tonight from council members?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but on September 18th, I'll be having a town hall meeting at the police department's community room. So everybody is welcome. You don't have to live in Ward 5. You don't have to live in the city. Everybody's welcome.
Yes, sir. Tell us what
It's
Ward
from
5.
6 to 8, and that's a Tuesday, September 18th.
And your ward consists of, Ward 5 is, where is it located?
Is everything that's in the city limits that's south or northeast of Sweetwater Creek State Park.
Okay. That sounds good. Look forward to your town hall. They're always very well attended and very interesting. Any other comments or business to come before council tonight from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. We'll continue with the agenda. 19, which is reports from our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dotson. I like your tie. You're welcome. We'll move on to Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Move on to Chief, you looking sharp. Where your stars and bars and stuff tonight?
Hanging up.
You hung it up today. You have anything to report to us?
Nothing. Everything's going well. Appreciate everything you all are doing, and appreciate getting that parking lot over there. I know all of you work hard, but I know Mayor Pro Tem has really been banging the drum for that, so we really appreciate all of that, everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I met with the chief today, and he has a rigorous schedule for the fall, something that I'm really excited about. We're going to plug early because I have to prepare, is the bike ride. Could you talk to us about the police department? They're going to do 12 miles.
I didn't say the police department.
Oh, it isn't? Who's doing the bike ride?
And that you may be asking me to do 12 miles.
Oh.
But
I don't know if I'm
we're
going to
have
do it.
October, we're going to have a 12-mile bike ride for all the bikers that's out. Sign up for it, and proceeds going to be going to a charitable organization. So we're going to add that to the Oktoberfest.
Okay.
So we'll start off with a bike ride.
It's not the PD. I don't know. I may not do it now. No.
Well, we'll get somebody to ride with you.
Okay. Very good.
Nah.
Okay, we'll move
Y'all
on.
gonna do it?
Thank you so
Where
much.
y'all gonna do it?
Okay, the route will go come out of the PD, go straight across, and it's going to go back in that area out in the county. Sheriff Department and we're working on this together, but I think it's going to go back around and go by down by Dillick Park, and then it's going to come back up. It may just come back up straight up 92, but we're going to go back, ride it out in the county, and come back in. So should be nice. There's a lot of bike riders, so everybody in the community, you're riding a bike, we got it in Douglasville, and maybe next year we extend it.
You gonna do it?
No, yes, ma'am. But
good.
I was just gonna ask, what's the cost, and is there a T-shirt involved? Because a lot of people.
So you always get a T-shirt. You've been there and got the T-shirt, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think it's a $25 entry fee, and then we'll have something for the winner. Plus, everybody get a T-shirt. Right now, it's just myself and the sheriff will be names be on the back of the T-shirt, unless somebody out there want to help sponsor. But right now, we're sponsored. If somebody want to help, fine. If not, we're going to do it anyway. So, but yes, we have some T-shirts. You get the T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
Let me know if you plan on riding down the new bike lanes on Riverside Parkway, and I'll get out there and sweep all the rocks off the pavement so that it's a nice, safe ride for you. All right?
You were going to get on a bike.
Yeah, we thought about going that far. We did think about that, and maybe that may be the next one set up for like a 20 mile, 24 mile, but we did look at that. So we'll start off a little short, and then we'll add to it.
If 12 is short, you don't want to do 6?
Some of these guys ride bicycles like Officer Tyler. I mean, he's riding like 25 to 50 miles. So 12 miles is like nothing.
Okay. We'll see. I'll try my very best. Okay. Anything else, Chief?
No, that's
Put you on the spot. Thank you so much, sir. We'll move on to our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton. I know we have something coming up on the 6th.
Yes, ma'am. You all will have the opportunity to visit another community. As you know, there's always good trips to learn. So those who are taking the trip to Woodstock, and again, I know Ms. Katrina Davis should have reached out to you for carpooling. We will leave in the morning and be back sometime around mid-afternoon. So that will be September 6th. Also, just on behalf of all the employees, as I mentioned on Thursday, just appreciate you all approving a new pay scale for us next year in September. So I think I speak on behalf of all the employees. Thank you very much. And most importantly, for those who've come out to the team meetings, I think I speak on behalf of all the employees. They do enjoy when you all are there. So Chief doesn't have a crew that's shy, so they'll talk and ask questions no matter if you're there or not. We still have a few more to go toward the end of this month. So if you have an opportunity, please stop by. It is great when you all get to kind of hear firsthand some of the concerns and some of the thank yous that the employees would definitely like to give to you and to extend to you. So thank you all for that.
Thank you so much, City Manager. We'll move on to comments from citizens and delegates now. Is the part of our agenda that we open to the audience. If you have sustained the meeting and you'd like to address us and have something to say, please come to the podium at this time and give your name and address for the record, and we'd love to hear comments from you. Good evening.
Madam Chair and fellow councilmen, I thought I was going to be here incognito,
You did?
but pardon?
Name and address.
Name.
Yes,
Larry
sir.
Pierce, 4120 Van Sant Road, Douglasville, Georgia.
Okay.
Like I said, I thought I was going to be here kind of incognito, but Mr. Joel Dodson knows of me from years ago, but I didn't really recognize him, and he probably didn't recognize me. But I've got some great, fun news tonight
Okay.
that was totally unplanned. I'm driving down the road, and I said, I think I'll go see the mayor. And I went over there, and she said, she's in a meeting today. I said, what kind of meeting? She said, well, they have a board meeting today. Well, I go to a lot of Board of Commissioners meetings, but the way this started is I made a comment to Mr. Mark Adams. He hangs around a place that I patronize with my fellow retirees called Martin's.
Yes, sir. It's
And
a
we
good
have a
place.
board of directors up there.
Okay, on the biscuits?
There's about 12 of us,
Okay.
and we talk about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens that one day I said to Mark, Mark, what do you think about bringing the train depot back to Douglasville?
Mm-hmm.
I said, what? I said, the train depot. He said, where's it at? I said, I don't know. I said, it's been gone 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. But I knew it was in Douglasville.
Mm-hmm.
But his comment to me was, Larry, if there's anybody that can do what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it. And I assure you, as an entrepreneur, inventor, engineer, and an old friend of Bill Posey, who was a fine, great antenna attorney years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I asked a friend of mine, you know where the depot's at?
On Chapel Hill
Madam
Road?
Chair, you're going to have to turn that timer off, please.
Were you going to get gonged and then we'll extend the time?
This is going to help out everybody.
Okay.
And I didn't plan on coming here tonight.
Okay.
And you got to understand how much work I've done in the past week. I go out there, you can't find it.
Uh-huh.
It's on Sylvia Sword, S-W-O-R-D's property.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Tim Sword is a deputy, and it just so happens the daughter, who I've known for 30 years, over here at Ace Hardware.
Okay.
So I go out there, and I didn't want anybody to see me, so we stopped by the road. You cannot see this. You know how they say you can't see it for the forest?
Mm-hmm.
You can't see this for the trees.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know where it's at if I told you.
On Sword Street, that's what you said.
So I go out there,
Uh-huh.
and sure enough, the man took it out there, cut in half. He put it back together. It's got a good roof that's preserved it.
Mm-hmm.
So without anybody knowing or the owner knowing, see, if I want something done, I never go through the back door, and I never go through the front door. I do it my way. So I walked around it, looked it over, and I said to him the other day, I said, I think it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure where it's going, and I've already talked to somebody that knows about house moving.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff Pounds is a good friend, and I'm sure we can get some prisoners to cut trees down. But here's the interesting thing. Without Mrs. Robin at ACE knowing, I went to see her this morning. And I said, Robin, can I talk to you for a minute? She said, yeah. What do you want to talk about, Larry? I said, I want to talk about your dad's depot. She said, what do you want to know about it? I said, well, I've already pulled the tax records and pulled the people's property records. That's the first thing you do. Pull everything you can find out about somebody. And I said, I'd like to know if you would like to see it back in Douglasville. And she said, what? I said, would you like to see it back in Douglasville? I said, I don't know for sure. She said, you need to talk to my sister. She's the executor over the estate. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I would like to know, through Mr. Mark Adams, how y'all feel about it. And somewhere or another, I will be the one-man committee to set up people, how it can be done, where it can be done, what the cost is of only moving it. The rest will be all volunteer help through the sheriff.
Yes, sir.
And probably Mr. Sparks. He doesn't know it yet. So anyway, I came up here with a little bit of jest, a little bit of fun.
Yes, sir.
But you know, that's where these things start. And there's nothing better than to do the impossible. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Mr. Pierce. We will convene. We'll have a conversation about it, and we'll get. If you have your number, have you given your number to the city clerk? Now, we have talked about this before, years ago. So we'll have conversation and decide as a council what we'd like to do. But thank you for your interest in wanting to preserve and bring back to the city. We appreciate your interest. And Martin's has good biscuits too over there, don't they?
It's about 10 miles out of town.
Oh, you're talking about the train. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Madam Mayor, we don't normally have response, but I can't help but respond to
please
Mr. Pierce. First of all, I'm not a part of the 12-member retirees. Make that clear, please, for the record. For the record, I'm not retired. Secondly, I take exception because Mr. Pierce asked me where it was, but then he didn't tell you that I told him where it was and who to go and see. I knew where it was, and I assumed you would at least include that positive note, but that's okay. I'm a big boy. Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I appreciate it.
No. It's good storytelling. That's storytelling. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Councilman Adams. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? We'd love to hear from you. I don't know if anyone wants to come behind that story, but thank you. Any staff reports, City Manager? Okay. Any other business to come before council tonight? Thank you. Not seeing any, then this meeting is adjourned.